And we are live once again for race number 2 of 29 here in the 1990 throwbacks. Darrell Waltrip won his first ever Daytona 500 last week, and that was one of the crazier Daytona 500s we've seen. We've got an interesting way of the top 10 in points. We'll see if that changes once we go to Richmond. Oh, will the battles continue? They certainly will. Anyways, the field's now going to be set, and the pole sitter is going to be Terry Labonte. Definitely a short track guru. And how about this? Hendrick Motorsports is really bringing out the muscle early on in this season. I mean, they end up winning one of the duels. They end up winning the Daytona 500. And now they sit 1-2 here at Richmond. How about that? So we got Terry Labonte. He is on pole. Darrell Waltrip in second. The reigning champion Bill Elliott in third. Mark Martin fourth. Rusty Wallace is in fifth. Phil Parsons in sixth. Tim Richmond seventh. Kyle Petty in eighth. Alan Kowicki ninth. And Dale Earnhardt will round out the top 10. I'm trying to remember who the defending winner of Richmond is. I believe it's Mark Martin. Yeah, it's Mark Martin. So we'll see if Martin will be able to win again here at Richmond. Here comes the command for the race.
Drivers, start your engines.
The command has been given. The pace car is now going to drive off. And Labonte is going to lead them down here. Coming down to the line. And the green flag is out here at Richmond. And look at this, 3 wide for the lead already. Look at the hyper-aggressive move here by Elliott. Elliott wasting no time trying to get to the lead, and Darrell Waltrip is going to suffer big time. Now, Richmond has a reputation of being a little bit of a crash fest. We'll see if Richmond holds up to that reputation today. Elliott squeezes away. He is now in first. Wallace in second. And look at the move by Alan Kowicki. He's going to go all the way up to third in just 2 laps. And Mark Martin's going to look for fourth. Richmond way up the track. And Rudd is going to fall into fifth. Looks like a little bit of dirt has kicked up on the front straightaway. We are still green, however. Elliott continues to lead. And it looks like we've gotten to a little bit of a calm spell here up front. Davey Allison's doing well. Kyle Petty seems to be doing well. And how about this? Neil Bonnet is trying to hold off the outside pole sitter in Darrell Waltrip. Now, earlier on in now that we're in the new decade, I can't say that, but in the mid-'80s, these two drivers were actually teammates. And they were battled for the championship in 1985, which Darrell Waltrip eventually won, and what was probably one of the greatest 1-2 fifth points finishes ever. Waltrip first, Bonnet second. Bonnet was actually leading the points for the longest time. And he only had 1 win on the season. It was looking like he was going to win that championship with only 1 win. And alas, he didn't exactly finish the season well, and the championship went to Waltrip. Anyways, here's your pole sitter, Terry Labonte. He's fallen all the way back to the 11th position, so good job, Labonte. Well, Kyle Petty, he seems to not be doing well. He's falling back as well. Welcome to the Wayback Train, Kyle Petty. Davey Allison's going to go by. Phil Parsons is going to try to get by. Here comes Parsons down to the bottom. And Parsons is going to try to make that move. They're going to make it 3 wide. Allison way up the track. Waltrip, by the way, able to get around Ricky Rudd. That'll put Waltrip back into the top 5. Earnhardt trying to hold off Kyle Petty. Kyle Petty's going to go down to the bottom now. As our pole sitter returns to the top 10. Petty diving down to the inside. Looks like he's going to barely be able to run the 3 car down the straightaway. And indeed he will. So Earnhardt is now going to fall to 10th. Here comes Terry Labonte. He's going to try for 8th. And Ricky Rudd continues to fall back as Phil Parsons is going to claim that position. And it looked like Ricky Rudd got into the wall. Ricky Rudd, the other winner of Richmond last year. And Rudd is definitely suffering after that contact with the wall. He is falling back a little bit. One driver that we definitely haven't talked about yet is the 11 of Geoff Bodine. Didn't exactly get a good qualifying run. He's trying to make up for it. Bodine down to the bottom. He's going to get around Earnhardt. He's going to try to get around Rudd here. And I believe that'll put the 11 close to, if not in the top 10. And that will put the 11 in the top 10. So Geoff Bodine trying to put Junior Johnson back on the map. At least for a championship. Terry Labonte did an okay job, to say the least, for Junior Johnson. He didn't do the greatest job in the world. Meanwhile, up front, right now it's everyone trying to chase the leader down, and that leader is the number 9 of Elliott. He came to play today. He's out to a 2-second advantage early on. Alan Kowicki is in 2nd, Rusty Wallace 3rd, Mark Martin 4th, and Darrell Waltrip is in the 5th position. The first true battle for position is here for 6th. Terry Labonte is right on the back of Phil Parsons. Parsons is trying to hold off a hard-charging Terry Labonte. We'll see if he's able to do so. Now Labonte's right there. You gotta imagine he's gonna make a move eventually here. We'll see if he can. It's gonna be close regardless. Phil Parsons, he knows how to run these short tracks pretty well. He got a win last year at Bristol to prove that, yeah, he can still run the short tracks. It was the only race that he won. And he had really a dismal middle of the season. And that caused him to lose a lot of positions and points. Ended up finishing 13th in the championship despite having I believe the 4th most top 10s out of anybody in the season with 18. Just crazy to think. Here goes Labonte. He's going to make the move. Labonte down to the inside of Parsons. And it looks like Labonte's going to get it. Meanwhile, Mark Martin just got passed by Darrell Waltrip, who has really shot out of a cannon as of late. Waltrip is not playing around to start 1990. He really wants to get back to his championship form. And boy, with the speed that this 17 car has right now, we could be looking at back-to-back victories for the 17 car. We'll see if he can run down Elliott or not. But boy, we thought that the 1989 championship was fiercely contested. I gotta say, this 1990 championship is looking like it's going to be even closer. Because not only are we going to have Bill Elliott being up here trying to defend his championship, but we're also going to have Alan Kowicki competing, maybe. We've got Mark Martin, he's hungry. We know Rusty Wallace, he's trying to get in there. Darrell Waltrip, he's trying to return to his championship form. So he's trying to do well. You've got Terry Labonte trying to prove that, yeah, this trade will rejuvenate him. You've got Dale Earnhardt, who's trying to recapture his championship form from back in 1988. That was like speed on pit road. We've got Geoff Bodine here in the 11. He's looking to show that Junior Johnson's the right fit for him. You've got Tim Richmond, who is, you know, probably been the best driver in the throwbacks since 1986. Boy, won the championship in 87, second in the championship in 88, second in the championship in 89. Richmond has really been beating around the bush. You've also got Ricky Rudd with another year with this 2016. They're trying to do well. You've got Davey Allison. Who knows what Robert Yates is going to be able to do with that 28 car. You know, this team's really hungry to start competing as we go to Lake Speed being in pit road. So we got a lot of players that are interesting, to say the least. Say this right now, it does not look like anybody is going to be chasing down the 9 car today. Boy, did Bill Elliott come out and play. He's only got the second fastest time on the charts. Darrell Waltrip is the fastest driver on the track, but pulling out to a 3.2 second lead here, and we're getting to about a quarter of the way through the race. I believe the caution flag has come out. And yes, it has. So we will now rewind and try to figure out what just happened. Maybe. Try to figure that out. Alright. Lights are on. Can't find a single problem. So, first caution of the year, I couldn't tell you what the issue is. Anyways, this is going to be the first real chance that anybody's going to have to run down Bill Elliott. All the leaders coming down pit road, of course. And if I didn't have to skip through lap traffic. We'll see how everyone goes here on pit road. Elliott's going to take 4 tires, see if anyone tries to go with 2. I don't think anyone will. Elliott will easily be out first. No, there are a couple drivers that did go with 2. Sterling Marlin, Chad Little, Brett Bodine, Eddie Bierschwell, Davey Allison. They all went with 2 tires. That's one way to get yourself track position. We'll see if it pays off. Now, Brett Bodine, we all know that he's something's going on here. Whoa, the 47 car is on his roof on pit road. What's going on here? Why is the 47 car on his roof on pit road? Oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay then. Well, an issue between a couple of young drivers there. Jack Pennington, a rookie, and Hutch Strickland, sophomore in the series, not used to pitting. Potentially. Who knows? But definitely some issues on pit road. So as of right now, it looks like Bill Elliott is going to be your leader. And then it's going to go Sterling Marlin, Chad Little, Brett Bodine, Eddie Bierschwell, Davey Allison. So Sterling Marlin through Davey Allison, they all took 2 tires. Everyone behind them took 4. So it'd be Waltrip in 7th, Kowicki 8th, Martin in 9th, and Terry Labonte in 10th. Since we have those cars there, let's go to the 15th position. As we've got Rusty Wallace in 11th, Phil Parsons in 12th, Dale Earnhardt in 13th, Geoff Bodine in 14th, and Jimmy Horton, the rookie, will round out the top 15. We should just have a lap and a half of caution left here before we go back green. In fact, I should probably go live, so there we go. Now we're only going to have about a half of a lap until we go green. It looks like they have brought the 12 car behind the wall. So Hutch Strickland apparently disqualified, and Morgan Shepherd has retired due to an engine failure. And Lake Speed is also on pit road, 22 laps down, not sure what the issue is. Anyways, that's it. The green flag is out and we are underway here from Richmond once again. Elliott got a good jump, but someone else also got a good jump, and that's the number 94. Bobby Hillen slow down low. I don't think that's going to matter. Merges back up. We got the 71 in the wall. That's about it. Just the 71 in the wall. You see Kowicki, he's trying to get around here. 3 wide. Kowicki maybe forcing the issue a little bit. Martin getting a little bit of the apron there. And Kowicki's able to pretty much get around everyone. But right now, it's all Elliott. Marlin's going to try to run him down. Now, Marlin had some success at the old configuration of Richmond, actually almost winning a race here at the old Richmond configuration in a car for this team. But Marlin hasn't had as much success here at the new configuration of Richmond, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. It looks like Alan Kowicki's wasting no time trying to cut through this lap traffic. He's trying to get through everybody here. Meanwhile, oh boy, we've got Dave Marcus trying desperately to stay out of the way of everybody. Oh, look at this! Richmond's like, excuse me, get out of the way, I want your position, and I don't think doing that to Dale Earnhardt is the smartest of ideas. But then again, this is Tim Richmond we're talking about here. And the caution flag is back out. We'll figure out 4 watts. Seemed like a lot of people were getting aggressive. We'll try to figure out what the cause of the caution is. And we've got a 4 car without any front end on it. Other than that, once again, I'm not seeing any 100% reason for the caution to come out. Maybe Eddie Bierschwell getting turned around. No, he saves it. He saves it. So, once again, not 100% sure what's going on here with the yellow flags. But they are certainly waving here today. That's about all that we can say right now. Now the 94 car looks like he went down pit road. along with everybody that took 2 tires, probably taking the other 2 tires this time around. So everyone that took 2 tires last time, they went down pit road to take the other 2 tires, maybe to get a little bit of a fresh tire advantage. We'll see, there's plenty of racing to go. Elliott is your leader, Kowicki second, Rusty Wallace third, Phil Parsons fourth, Darrell Waltrip fifth, Mark Martin sixth, Dale Earnhardt seventh, Tim Richmond eighth, Neil Bonnet in ninth, and Kyle Petty is going to round out the top 10. That's going to be about it for now. We'll see 2 more laps of caution will do it for right now. I'm trying to figure out stuff to say. I can't really figure out much to say right now. Sorry, I can't really fill the dead time with many stories when there's a lot of cautions coming out, especially when they're back-to-back cautions like that without much action going on. Especially when there's really not a wreck to be found, which is one of the weirdest things I think I've ever seen. But anyways, Elliott has the lead, and he's going to bring us back to the green flag here on lap number 39. And the green flag is out, and we're underway. And whoop. So there's Elliott back in the lead. Kowicki quickly jumps down to the inside of Hillen. He's going to try to take the second position. And Wallace is going to easily jump into third. And it's a dogfight for all the positions beyond that. Phil Parsons trying to make a daring move to the outside. It might actually work. They're going to go 4 wide off the corner. That never works. Parsons and Richmond, they both hit the inside retaining barrier. I don't think anything's going to happen from that. They're still going all sorts of 4 wide up here as things continue to go crazy. Michael Waltrip blows up. And through all of that, Neil Bonnet goes to 4th. There's an opportunity cashed in, and these guys are still battling like crazy. 17 almost battling, almost bashing off the wall. They're still going 3 wide here as Bonnet's trying to find the bottom. Bodine's now going to go to the 4th position, and the caution flags come back out. That sounds bad. Yeah, now we've got an actual wreck here. So we're going to try to figure out exactly what's going on. So here, the 52, he's slow up against the wall. Rick Mast gets into him. He hits the 57. And the 52 just ricochets all over the place. Boy, Ken Schrader really gets hit hard, and so does Dick Trickle. Schrader once again getting hit hard by Brett Bodine. Looks like also the L1 of Mickey Gibbs got a good piece of it. We'll try to get a slow motion camera here to see what happened with Mickey Gibbs. You can see the wreck developing here. Looks like Moroso's going to be able to get through. Gibbs ends up getting hit by the 18, so that means that Terry Labonte gets involved. You can see Derek Cope and Jimmy Spencer getting involved. And Terry Labonte and Mickey Gibbs just go up and hit the wall. It has not been a good day for the pole sitter. Had Derek Cope just hitting Mickey Gibbs again for good measure. It's not been a good day for our pole sitter. Meanwhile, it has been a good day for Bill Elliott. There hasn't been a lap that he hasn't led yet. You gotta wonder how long is that going to last for, because Elliott's really getting hounded down here by the 7 of Kawicki, by the 27 of Wallace. We've also got the 11 of Geoff Bodine, the 6 of Martin. They're all here. And they're all ready to pounce. So how about Ernie Irvin's car? That's looking great right about now. So I guess this will be a good time to go over who is behind the wall and who is not. It looks like Derek Cope, Harry Gant, Richard Petty, Michael Waltrip, Morgan Shepherd, and Lake Speed are all behind the wall. I think that's it. The 71 of Dave Marcus is shown as 4 laps down, but I don't think he's behind the wall yet. And he hasn't come out of pit road either, so I wouldn't count on him coming back out on the track. Here's the 01 of Mickey Gibbs. He's going to try to stay out. So the 71 and 83 are basically retired. Lights are back out on the pace car. So we're gonna go green rather on lap number 47 of 100. Boy, this continues to be an interesting selection now for the second race of the season. Richmond is certainly quite the wild card. Usually we just go straight to Rockingham for the second race. Not the case this year. This year we decided to go to Richmond, and look at the chaos that has ensued. Pace car pulls into pit road. And the green flag's back out, and Elliott got a good jump again. Dave Marcus is back out on the track. Kawicki is in second. And look at this. I thought there was going to be a wreck there. There will be. Dave Marcus, and they all say, no, they don't. Rick Masters around in the 98. Caution's out. Elliott back to the line. And we line them up again. Rick Mast this time is the big loser. Time to figure out what happened with Mast. He's behind the 25. That's what happened. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Look at that. They all save it up there. Wow, Richmond taking another very hard hit off the inside wall. He's driving away, so he's okay. Rick Mast seems to also be no problems at all. So it looks like the leaders are once again going to come back down pit road. And we're going to see what happens here. Can anyone beat Elliott off? Elliott's been doing a good job today. Obviously, leading. He's going to clinch leading the most laps here shortly. He took the lead on lap 1 from Terry Labonte. Has not looked back, I'll tell you that. So Elliott will win the battle off of pit road. It looks like Wallace in second, maybe Bodine third, Kowicki fourth. Lots of people beating Waltrip off. And it looks like indeed they are going to spot Bodine ahead of Kowicki. So Geoff Bodine is now going to be placed in the 3rd position. And it looks like we got a couple of cars that said, you know what, we're just not going to pit at all. Chad Little and Jimmy Spencer are now your leaders of this race. So Bill Elliott has not led every single lap. But if there's one lap that Chad Little does not lead, Elliott will secure the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps in the race. To which I have to say, good luck with that, Chad. Not saying really anything against that team, but usually the owner-driver squads aren't necessarily the fastest teams in the world, unless, of course, your name is Alan Kowicki. But that's Alan for you. Boy, look at all these Fords up here. You've got Chad Little in the lead, Bill Elliott, Geoff Bodine, Alan Kowicki, Mark Martin, Neil Bonnet. We got Jimmy Horton right now. Jimmy Horton's a lap down, so I shouldn't call him. He was on the lead lap earlier, that's why I called him out, but guess not. All the high-performing Fords are all inside the top 10. We'll see how quickly it will be for Elliott to lose his advantage here. We all know how hungry all these drivers are back here. With the race going green on this lap, don't be surprised if you see some kind of surprise maneuver by the 9 or the 27 or the 11 or any of them. Chad Little is your leader. Jimmy Spencer second, Elliott third, Wallace fourth, Geoff Bodine fifth, Kowicki sixth, Martin seventh, Kyle Petty eighth, Bonnet in ninth, Darrell Waltrip in 10th. We are a little bit past halfway into this race as we're going to go back green on lap number 53. Green flag's back out, and Chad didn't get that good of a jump. I'm just going to watch this from Geoff Bodine because I think things are going to get really interesting there. Look at the move by Kowicki. He's not wasting any time. And Kowicki is around. Kowicki is around. And they're still wrecking up here, I think. Wow. Davey Ellison, Bill Elliott, and Rusty Wallace. They're still being grinded into the wall. What is going on here? And now Elliott is around. All sorts of chaos is going on. Meanwhile, your leader is Jimmy Spencer, but I think he's going to be going down pit road. As will Mark Martin. So that means your leader is going to be the 17 of Darrell Waltrip. When's the last time Waltrip's gotten back-to-back wins? It's been a long time. And hey, the two people that were on the front row, how about that? They are back up here. In fact, I think Hendrick is actually going to line up 1, 2, 3, 4 on this restart. It's going to go Waltrip, Labonte, Schrader, Richmond on this restart. That is absolutely insane. Dale Jarrett and Ernie Irvin, they're going to try to compete to get their laps back. Something's going on with Geoff Bodine. Not sure what's going on there. Chad Little looks like he's going to end up retiring due to having no fuel. To which I have to say, good job. Not pitting and then running out of fuel. Good job. Jimmy Spencer is also going to retire due to having no fuel. Wow. Good job to both of them pulling the pitch strategies of the year, no doubt about it. Now, Ernie Irvin is actually on the tail end of being 2 laps down, so he's going to pull down to the inside here for the restart. Well, still 2 more laps of yellow. So, although some of his cars are beat up, Rick Hendrick's got to be smiling from ear to ear here to see his cars 1, 2, 3, 4, even if it's going to be temporary. And a driver that we really haven't talked about much, but Eddie Bierschwell in the 90, he's actually been floating around the top 15 all day long, and he's found himself inside of the top 10 after all that chaos. He's up into 7th. And right now our best standing rookie, Rob Moroso, in the 20 car, he's going to be starting in the 12th position. And I gotta say, that car doesn't look too bad with how much has been going on in this race. I gotta say, the 2 cleanest looking cars on the track right now are the 17 of Waltrip and the 20 of Moroso. Waltrip and Moroso have definitely been doing a good job of staying out of traffic trouble. But this is definitely one of those tracks where you leave with a clean car, you've had a good day. Just like North Wilkesboro and Bristol. And Martinsville, for that matter. You leave any of the short tracks with a clean car and a good finish, you've had a good day. Because usually if you're leaving the race with a clean car, you aren't racing hard enough. Usually. The race is now going to get restarted here on lap number 59. And the green flag is out. Let's see if Waltrip tries to pull anything crazy here into turn 1. He will not, but all sorts of crazy things are happening here with Ernie Irvin. Terry Labonte trying to get a run. That's not going to happen. We've got Moroso around. As soon as I said that Moroso was having a good day, Moroso got turned around on the back straightaway. Waltrip's your leader coming back. No caution. No caution for Moroso's spin, by the way. We're still green. Wow, what a tough break for Rob Moroso. We are still green. Hendrick Motorsports is still 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, not anymore. Ken Schrader's fallen back. Dale Earnhardt. He's trying to make some moves to get through the field. Can't even tell who the fastest car is anymore, but if I were to put bets, it's probably that 17 car. 2.5 seconds out in the lead, as the caution flag has indeed come out now. See what's going on this time. With all the beat up cars, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just somebody that's beat up on the track. Dick Trickle, rather, going very slow down pit road. Not sure what the... Oh, we've got Davey Allison here basically stalling on pit road. That will bring out the yellow flag. Darrell Waltrip will hit pit road. I think everyone else will too. We'll find out. Terry Labonte will. Richmond will. Earnhardt will not, along with Parsons. So a couple of people not hitting pit road. And now your leader is going to be Dale Earnhardt. Dick Trickle with probably the nicest looking car on the entire track. He's a dirt track racer. He's a legend. He can drive those beat up cars pretty well. We'll see what Mr. Trickle's able to do. Jeff Purvis not having a good day. Lots of drivers not having a good day. I tell you what, the number 6 of Martin, that car doesn't look too beat up. No, not really. Elliott's got a few scratches on his car. Right now, your leader is Earnhardt. Larry Pearson's actually found his way into the top 10. You know, as soon as I say that Eddie Bierschwil is having a good day inside the top 15, well, he goes all the way to the edge of the top 15. And look at this, all the Hendrick cars go all the way to the edge of the lead lap. Lots of cars retiring. Only 28 cars are on the track. Looks like Sterling Marlin, Jimmy Spencer, Chad Little, and Jimmy Horton all retired with no fuel. Derek Cope, Harry Gant, Richard Petty, Michael Waltrip, Hutch Strickland, and wow, Morgan Shepherd. They all retired due to accidents. The 83 of Lake Speed, he pulled into the pits pretty much as the race began. Not a good start for him. Well, we've had crazy races at this track before. This is probably the most insane. This is probably the most insane Richmond race that we've seen yet on the new configuration. It's going to take a lot to top this race. It's been quite the interesting one. So Earnhardt leads. Remember, he got that win at Atlanta, breaking a pretty lengthy winless streak, at least for his standards, over 20 races. One of the longest winless streaks of his career. And then we have Phil Parsons in second. He won Bristol last year and had some good finishes at Richmond before. Mark Martin's in third. He won the Richmond race, the last Richmond race. Elliott in fourth, Bodine in fifth. Green flag is out. How are the leaders going to deal with this mess? That's going to be 4 wide. Yep, Mark Martin's around. Bill Elliott involved. Caution flag will be displayed, no doubt about that. Are they going to wreck again in this corner? I think they all keep it together. And we go back behind the pace car. It's the jumbling of the lap traffic and the leaders that keep on causing this 3-4 wide scrambles. That time Mark Martin was the victim. Seems like every single time that I say that somebody's got a good looking car, they end up getting turned on the restart. I keep jinxing people. Looks like Dale Jarrett's actually finally got himself back on the lead lap after that. And yeah, I think I'm just done saying people have a good looking car, and I'm just going to say good luck. Right now I gotta say Hendrick is the most successful out of all the owners. Hey, they started this race with 4 cars on the track, and they still got 4 cars on the track. So they've got to be pretty happy, and all 4 cars are in the top 10. Now, Rick Mast, no, he is definitely no stranger to underdog surprise victories. He did it at Sonoma last year. Just came out of nowhere, took a fuel gamble. He got around the track and he won. Can he do something similar here at Richmond? He's currently in 4th. That's a lot of Hendrick power behind him, though. And Hillen blows up. And that's another car that's going to go behind the wall. So it looks like it's going to be Earnhardt to be the leader with no resistance. You gotta assume the shorter the green flag run, the more likely it's going to be that Dale Earnhardt is going to win this race. 2 more laps of caution yet. Though I wouldn't necessarily say that Earnhardt's guaranteed to get off into turn 1 alone with the lead. Ricky Rudd, we know he's got a fast car. He is 13th on the speed charts. That's not as high as I thought Rudd was going to be. But he is not that much slower than Dale Earnhardt. He can probably at least make it side by side going into turn 1, and that can make things really, really interesting. We'll find out. As we continue to crawl towards the end of this race. This is probably going to be the longest race we've ever had at Richmond. The spin cycle has begun. Phil Parsons is still in 2nd. Elliott's still in 3rd. The only difference is 4th on back. Oh, I would have to say advantage Phil Parsons here because Irvin's not going to get the jump on the start. Rudd probably will. Parsons might be able to get to the inside of Earnhardt going into turn one. We'll find out. Green flag. And will Parsons be able to get clear? He will. And as we said, advantage Parsons. He's going to try to take the lead. Looks like it's clean off of turn two. Parsons has brought a lot of fast cars here, but he hasn't had any wins yet. Parsons takes the lead here at Richmond. Oh boy, and here comes Richmond down to the bottom. He's going to take third away from Elliott. Terry Labonte will take fourth away from Elliott as well. And Dick Trickle hard into the inside wall, so is Alan Kowicki. Caution comes back out. Yes, it will. Your leader is the number one of Phil Parsons, and Ricky Rudd will get his lap back. I think there were two separate incidents here. Indeed, two separate incidents. So we have the first one. Look at this. 5 wide going down the straightaway. That's not going to end well. The 27, the 6, and the 18, and the 2, they all get together in the inside wall. They all break up. And then there's this. Alan Kowicki and Dick Trickle getting in it with each other. So that is the yellow flag. Two separate incidents that time. Looks like Phil Parsons opted to go down pit road, which means your leader once again, Dale Earnhardt. And Brett Bodine and Davey Allison are trying to get some laps back. Excuse me there. Although Brett Bodine and Davey Allison are both many, many laps down. Boy, Davey Allison having yet another bad start to the year. And there's just so much promise with this kid coming up. He had such a good rookie season, top 15 points finish. Everyone was expecting him to be in the top 10 in points the next year. Nothing happened. Everyone expected him to be in the top 10 in points next year. Nothing happened. It actually took him halfway through the season just to break into the top 20 in points. And similar stuff's happened to Davey Allison again. So you gotta ask yourself, what's going on? We will certainly find out. Right now, it's Earnhardt in the lead, Richmond second, Labonte third, Elliott fourth, Rick Mast is in fifth, Kowicki sixth, Waltrip seventh, Neil Bonnet in eighth, Kyle Petty ninth, and Geoff Bodine in 10th. Alright, we're going to go back green. 20 laps to go. Earnhardt's your leader. He's probably going to take off on these guys. Earnhardt looking for his second win in 3 attempts. Richmond looking for redemption after losing the championship by 2 points last year to Elliott. Terry Labonte trying to prove to Junior Johnson that he's still got something in him. And Elliott just trying to hang on for the ride. Probably the biggest upset could potentially be Rick Mast in that 98 car. We'll find out. They come to the line. Green flag is out. And Brett Bodine does not give Earnhardt any room. But there's nobody to take advantage of it either. Looks like Elliott's going to be able to move into second. Richmond's going to go down to the bottom here. He's going to try to race Earnhardt. 19 to go. Richmond and Earnhardt. The biggest rivalry that we've had here in the late 80s and probably will continue to well into the 90s. Oh, Earnhardt cuts across the track. They both go into the inside wall, Earnhardt and Elliott. We're still green. Earnhardt and Elliott just trying to avoid getting ran over by traffic here. I thought Elliott was going to get thrown into the outside wall there. So Elliott and Earnhardt, big losers there as Richmond takes the lead, and I don't think he's going to look back. Right now it's 1, 2, 3 for Hendrick, Tim Richmond, Terry Labonte, Darrell Waltrip. And Ken Schrader's moving up as well. How about Neil Bonnet is in the 4th position. He's actually running really, really well. Here comes Waltrip trying to take second. If Waltrip can get second away from Terry Labonte here, this race may not be over. Because we know how fast that 17 car is. He might be able to run down Tim Richmond. And indeed, Waltrip's taking second here, and Bonnet might try to take third as well. Now we're going to see how fast this 17 car really is. And the question is, are we going to go green the rest of the way? I think we will. We'll find out. Here comes Mark Martin down to the inside of Kyle Petty. That is for 7th. Martin just trying to hold on to a good finish. And another yellow flag. Oh boy. And I don't think we will. Big mistake. Yeah, I think there's something going on here with Dave Marcus, maybe. Not 100% sure. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not 100% sure what's going on. Caution flags out again. Now Richmond's going to have to survive. Richmond's going to really, really have to survive. This is probably going to be one of the hardest restarts in a while. We're going to restart probably with 10 laps to go. All that Waltrip's going to need to do is get a quick pass on Brett Bodine, and he might be able to run down that 25 car. You can see that the 25 car has been beat to hell. Tim Richmond has really been through hell and back trying to get a win at this track.
if he were to get a win, he would tie Bill Elliott for career victories with 22. You gotta imagine that is definitely something that is really good to tie Elliott in career wins. Two-time champion, of course. Richmond himself almost becoming a two-time champion last year. 2 points. I don't think you can stress that enough. 2 points. $11 to go when we come to the line, and I don't think they're going to have it go green. So indeed, this is going to be a single file restart. 10 laps to go. Wait. There's going to be 9 laps to go when we go green, rather. All restarts within 10 laps to go are single file restarts. So you're not going to see the lap cars dive down to the inside lane. It will remain single file. $10 to go. You can see nobody is going down to the inside. It's going to be all about if Waltrip will be able to get to the bottom of Geoff Bodine before Richmond takes off. There's not going to be a lot of time to reel in Tim Richmond, and if there's another caution, that basically guarantees Richmond winning this race. Because we're either going to have a caution, the race end underneath the yellow flag, or there's going to be a restart with 1 lap to go, and that's just not going to be enough time to pass the 25. Pace car comes in. Green flag, 9 laps to go. Waltrip's not going to waste any time. And the chase is on. And it doesn't look like the chase is going to last very long. Oh, Kawicki almost got spun around by Martin back there. Geoff Bodine has joined the mix in the 11th. The caution is back out already. Larry Pearson looks like he was the victim this time. Boy, Richmond has been more treacherous than it's ever been. Yeah, Larry Pearson off the inside retaining barrier. Caution flag back out. There's not going to be pit stops, are there? Yeah, I was hoping not. I was hoping there weren't going to be pit stops. So now, there's going to be a restart with not very many laps to go. Either 1 or 2 laps left. It's basically going to be over. So I think Richmond is going to win this race. Especially if we're only going to have 1 lap of green flag racing. You got to make the move, turn 1, or you're not going to get them. You got to assume it. You almost have to play this in a North Wilkesboro sense. You got to assume that on any given lap a caution's going to come out. That's how crazy this race has been. Of course, North Wilkesboro is North Wilkesboro. You know, you're not gonna be able to control that race. But this race has been nearly as unhinged, which is just crazy to think. This is usually a calmer race than North Wilkesboro, but it's definitely in the same breath today. Yeah, this race is usually not as hectic, not as chaotic. Are there the fair share of cautions? Sure, but maybe more towards how many cautions Bristol has as compared to how many cautions North Wilkesboro has. So, it's been interesting to say the least. There's 5 laps to go. And we're still waiting for the race to go green. So that means at the very least we'll be restarting with 3 to go. At the very least we'll be restarting with 3 to go. Will we be, though? This is going to be an exciting finish regardless. We're going to hope that we don't have another caution right off the bat here, and we're going to get a good race between 4 of the best. Here we go. We're going to get off the line with 3 to go. If any caution comes out, whoever comes back to the line will be the winner of the race. So whether if it's the 25, the 17, the 5, the 11, or if all 4 of these guys wreck and someone else wins, it isn't going to matter. Pace car pulls in. And green flag is back out. Will anyone be able to make a move? Remember, you basically got to make that move. Lap 1, turn 1. Bodine's going to make a move on Terry Labonte. And he's not going to be able to do it. We're still green, 2 to go. Richmond and Waltrip are kind of pulling away. Oh boy, 2 former champions, titans of the series, going after one another. Who's going to take the win here at Richmond? We're going to take the white flag here. 1 lap to go. I think Richmond's just a little bit better than Waltrip. Either that or Waltrip just hasn't found a way around Richmond yet. Waltrip tried to dive it in deep there. That's going to allow Richmond to pull away. I think Richmond's got him. Richmond held him off. Here he comes up off of turn 4. Tim Richmond is going to win the Pontiac Excitement 400. What a crazy, crazy race. And Darrell Waltrip is off to a hot start to the season, finishing 1st and 2nd in the first 2 races respectively. You can see the full standings here on your left. And boy, oh boy, Darrell Waltrip and Geoff Bodine, they are off to a lightning hot start, along with Ricky Rudd. Of course, Tim Richmond getting that win will jump him up to 3rd in points. And you can see how the top 20 or so in points stack up. It's still pretty close, but there are some interesting jumps here. 24 points there, 17 points there. Of course, there are some people that didn't even compete in the last race, so... And that's going to be it. Well, we should also show you the full results of the race. So here they are. Elliott led the most laps, as I said. And here's everyone else. So that is it from Richmond. We'll see you next time for North Carolina.